I cannot believe I forgot about this. This is why I sometimes get a notepad and I write things down that I want to talk about. But anyway, I was just making my orange juice. There it is. When I went for my walk that I told you about, I was actually going to a friend's house, and they told me a story about, they've got a neighbour. It's a terraced house, and their neighbour, who has lived there for maybe over 10 years, doesn't actually, he owns the house, but he doesn't live there. He's got another house. Apparently he was basically given this house by his mother. The guy must be in his 40s or 50s. I wonder if I could put this down. Hang on, bear with. How's that? Hopefully you can see me fine and whatnot. But the story is, my friend, they have someone that lives next door to them that doesn't live in the house permanently. They have another house, but they don't rent this house out. They've just left it empty, and they have had the house for over 10 years. They own the house, but they live somewhere else. But everyone in this road knows that the house is empty, even the kids in the area. And so what they've done, the kids, they set fire to the garage, so the roof has been burnt away. There's no roof on the garage. The front garden is overgrown. The back garden was overgrown. So the house was basically just left in a bad state. But the guy does visit the house. Oh man, my arm. So there's this, I don't know if they're part of the council or not. I don't think they're not the actual council. It's a company, and they have sent this guy letters. I think they've tried to phone him. They put letters on his front door asking him to get in touch with them, because they have offered to buy his house off him. He hasn't sold it to them. He doesn't want to sell it to them. But they've started doing work to his house. They did this back garden because it was overgrown. They de-weeded it, and they found some kind of bad weeds that are just hazardous or whatever, and so they had to treat them with chemicals. They've done that to the back garden. They've all cut it into a nice presentation. They've done it to the front garden as well, so they're basically just getting charges built up. And then I think they sent him quotes to do his garage as well, because it's been burnt down. No, not the actual. It's a brick garage with, it would have been like a canvas roof. It's not a new slated roof. It's a canvas one. And so that's been burnt down. So there's no roof on the garage, and they've sent him a quote or whatever to do the garage. But the main part of this story is that I can't get my head around is, because he hasn't answered their letters or phone calls that I know of, they're possibly trying to go to court for a repossession order on his house. Which I've been told means that if it goes to court or whatever, and it's basically they're looking to take the house off him, they're going to change the locks, and then sell the house with these, put these charges onto the owner of the actual house, which just does not make any sense to me. I can't see how someone can do that. You own two houses. Well, I don't know if he owns the second house. I don't know what his situation is there, but I know he owns the one that he's been. It's like it's February now. I asked when the guy was last at his house, the actual owner, and they says Christmas. So it's not like he leaves the house for years at a time. He does come every couple of months to the house. And because he hasn't answered this company's phone calls or letters that I know of, he might have said no to him, I don't know. But because he doesn't want to sell his house, they're looking to take it off him. It just blows my mind. In a crazy way, it's all this. It's what I don't like about Big Brother. Yeah, it's you think even when you own a house that it's yours, but actually I don't know his situation because I've been told that his mum bought the house for him, so I don't know if it's completely bought outright. There's no mortgage. Yeah. But apparently this company wants to. They're doing his house up to not for him, but they're doing the house up to a standard, and then they're going to possibly change the locks and sell the house on because he's left it in a poor state. But I can't understand why he wouldn't cut his grass though. That seems to be the main issue, because all the grass was overgrown into the alleyways around, into other people's gardens. And then there was some story about, I don't know what different kind of weed you can get in your garden that's like hazardous, or what's it called? I can't remember what the name of I was told. Yeah, and then the front garden was getting a bit overgrown. But yeah, I just can't see if that's true, that someone can take your house off you because you haven't answered their letters or phone calls. I mean, imagine a situation if he actually lived 200-300 miles away. You didn't come to the house so very often, and then one day you turn up to get into your house that you actually own, and the locks have been changed. And possibly even someone else living there. No, I can't. No. If you know anything about this being possible, please put it in the comments. Tell me about any. All I was is something like a repossession order. That rings a bell from the story. But I just can't see how there's. If you own a house, you own a house. I can't see how someone. I don't think it's the council. Maybe in partnership with the council, or yeah. But apparently it's been going on for a while. But if I own a house and someone sends me a letter, people phone me all the time, and if I don't recognise the number, or if it's a withheld number, I'm not going to answer it. That doesn't mean they can come and change my locks or take my car, take my bike away. It's not like I owe them anything. I don't owe them any payments or for work that's been done. And they've actually done work to his house without his permission, I guess. They've done work for themselves to charge him, which he hasn't asked for. I mean, to cut your grass, it takes. I guess it will take a day, but if someone's going to charge you, because companies will charge you extortionate rates if they know that you're going to have to pay it. They won't give you a mates rates or things like that, and they will find extra work to do, won't they? So they'll use extra chemicals. They might use a few more men than they need to. Yeah, but yeah, that just blew me away. I was thinking about that for a while. Taking someone's house off them because they haven't answered your calls or letters, and you didn't want to cut your grass. Yeah, so I'm gonna end it here. I feel like I've got the point across about the story. I hope this view isn't bad. Hope that you can see me. But if you know anything about these sort of, what can you call them? Robbery. That's what I'd put it as, robbery. I mean, they could have sent maybe the courts, maybe sent him to court for the work. The work needed doing, the courts, maybe put the, I don't know how it would work. Maybe it was something to do with the courts you could do. Maybe do the work to the house, in partnership with the council, send them to court for the payment. But then again, they could charge you whatever they wanted. You haven't agreed to any amount for any work to be done. It's not right that someone could do work without your permission, then take you to court to make sure you pay it. I don't know. But if you do know, put it in the comments. The whole but if you do know, put it in the comments about the legalities or whatever it is, or how they could actually do that, if you know, because I'd be very interested. But I think it's completely wrong, and I feel like that's enough for a catch up today. I don't know how long this is going for, but I will get back to you if you reply in the comments. So give me a like, give me a comment if you know any of this system that's going on, and subscribe. Thank you. Ciao.